And welcome back to Ireland Esports Collegiate Series Rocket League here on a Tuesday evening. I am, of course, Gib, if you missed the first game, and I'm joined by the wonderful, the one and only Jacko. Jacko, how are you feeling about this next matchup we got going for you?
Yeah, so Maynooth are back again on stream after they had a rather interesting series against TDB. TDB took game one, and Maynooth had a very strong performance in their game number two, and TDB took games three and four and finished that series 3-1. Similar to their game in the preliminary tournament, in which TDB won 3-0. Maynooth, as I said, are sticking on stream this time around, so we're going to be seeing Cubsy, Nova, and Krolek again, and they're going to be playing against UCD Leviathans, which is Lalo, Iraqi, and Luca. So these teams haven't played together before. Maybe they played together before in other six mans or anything like that, but they haven't played together in terms of the tournament so far. So they didn't play together in the preliminary tournament. So we just need to see how this one will go. We'll see now as we get stuck into the game, as I hear Gabe crack open a beautiful can of Red Bull on the other side of the call. So nevertheless here, starting off strong here for game number one. Chronic now looking to get a play going. It's back to Cubsy, who had a very strong performance in this game number two, was the underdog in that previous series. Down by Luca, tries to get a bump on him, can't get it through though. Chronic now and Nova trying to push a play through. Best of five, of course, in this series, Gib. And just trying to start it off strong here. Just trying to get something going, but so far not much to happen in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's going to be a case of, unlike the last game where TUDB and Maynooth have played each other quite extensively over the course of their careers in Ireland Esports Collegiate Series. UCD Leviathans and Maynooth not playing each other in the preliminary tournament, so definitely going to be feeling each other out a little bit more this game, especially game one. But Irasi getting the opening
Yeah.
goal for the side of UCD there. A nice touch there. Krolek getting a touch to it, but just not enough. Almost knocking it further into the net there. An opening goal for UCD, starting off this game. 1 minute down, and no response from Maynooth just yet, but it could be coming anytime soon if Cubsy decides that he wants to be the MVP once again, as we saw against TUDB. Hiroshi getting a touch to that, trying to get a second, but Kralik once again waiting patiently on that back wall. Lalo up to meet him, not quite managing to get a touch. Cubsy getting the clearance out to the corner, getting a second touch to it as well. Nova picking up that mid boost, popping it high. Erosi up to meet him, pre-jumping him, getting a touch, sending it back into his own corner. Luca trying to get a touch to that. Kralik leaving it for a teammate, but Lalo gonna get the clearance in the end of it. Nova full boost to his name. What can he do with this? Gets a demo on Erosi. Kralik goes in with the shot, but just a little bit wide on that one. Erosi getting a touch to it. Cubsy trying to keep that pressure going. Erosi once again bringing the ball down to Maynooth's side of the pitch. Kralik gonna pick up that ball. Looking like he's taking it to the sidewall. Was waiting for that boost to spawn, but it didn't in the end. Tried to go for the pinch on that one. Nova trying to play the 50. Back to Cubsy. It goes in the corner. Plays it. Tries to play it over one, but Luca not going to be fooled by that. Kralik trying to pass it to Nova, but Nova not quite ready for that pass. And it's very much a back and forth affair. Counter attack after counter attack here.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that UCD are ranked 7th in terms of seeding, so they're the lowest seeded team so far in this premier bracket, and Maynooth are in 5th position. So obviously, it's not the most indicative thing. Of course, some teams maybe had to forfeit certain weeks and weren't able to play. So take with that as you will. But as we work off the stats here, though, UCD Leviathans are the lowest seeded team in this premier bracket. So a lot for them to prove here against Maynooth. Go up against kind of middle ground opponents here. Cubsy now trying to start a play, and I must say I like that preset that he's running. Nevertheless, Nova now trying to hit that one into the field. It's going to be saved by Arosi. Luca now trying to get a clear tie into the sky. Lalo is now trying to get something going. Cubsby now gets a shot off the wall. Quick shot for him, answers back and secures the first goal here for Maynooth on that side wall, and all the UCD players were just sitting around Cubsy there. Some maybe pushed up for boost, but nevertheless here, there we go. Maynooth take first goal here and bring it back to a level game.
Yeah, Cubsy opening up, or closing down that scoreline, I should say, for the side of Maynooth, and close from Luca going in, but Cubsy once again being the star man for Maynooth, getting a stop in there. Kralik, nice catch, and was close to going in, but Hiroshi managing to get a touch to it, keeping it out. Nova gets a touch to it, trying to pass it down to a teammate. Kralik keeping it in that danger zone. Nova trying to get it in, but Hiroshi gonna make sure it gets stayed out. Goes for a shot. Nicely done, but cleared the danger by Nova. Lalo trying to get a play here going once again. Kralik gets a touch to it. Cubsy gets it over Arosi. Nova gets the ball over Luca. Tries to pick up that mid boost, but didn't manage to get it. Gets a second touch to it. Lalo back to Luca, back to Arosi, back to Lalo now. Tries to go in for the shot and double commit from the side of Maynooth. Not punished for it just yet, but too many more of those come about. They could be in a goal deficit.
Yeah, overtime is looming here in this game number one. Things you do like to see if you are watching this series. Nevertheless, here 7-6 counting down here, and unless there's be a late goal here by UCD, we will be going into overtime in this game number one. Just waiting for the ball to drop. Flipper sit by Luca here, keeps it up. Lalo tries to make something work with it. Erosi keeping the ball up though, can't get a touch on the back, and it drops down here for overtime in this game number one. Back to kickoff here, heading it over to Cubsby. Kralik gets that 100 boost in the top right corner. It's going to pass it back to Nova, who just ends up bumping him and giving the ball straight to Lalo, who's trying to go low and tries to hit it over to the middle. Should be Cubsy now, and Kralik trying to start a play here. Two UCD players back on the line. Arosi now looking to take this one slow. It's going to be met by Cubsy, who does not want to take this play slow whatsoever. Kralik now getting a touch over on the right hand side and just trying to get something going here in this game number one. Just trying to shift momentum in the favor of one of these teams, Gabe, but so far no one's breaking, and 11 shots here for UCD and only 5 for Maynooth. Arguably UCD should have had this game over and done with much sooner, but the conversion rate just is not going in their favor. 6 saves though for no one knows Nova, 3 for Kralik and 1 for Cubsy. They have been a brick wall so far besides that first goal that has gone in, and a minute now past, Gabe, and still nothing to be seen from either team.
Yeah, it seems like possession just changing hands in that midfield area quite a bit. Lalo going in, trying to send it to the corner. Kralik getting a touch to it. Got the reset off that ball as well. Arosi trying to get a touch to it. Potentially pass it back to a teammate. Lalo going to pick up that ball. Play it around Cubsy, but Nova picking it up once again. Sending it over one. Arosi trying to get a touch to it. Now, Kralik getting a touch. Sending it back to Luca. Luca using his ceiling reset there, but not able to get the touch on the ball he wanted. Arosi sends it high. Kralik gonna get a touch to it, send it away from the danger zone. Nova picking up that mid boost and getting demoed in the process. Cubsy trying to get a touch to it. Back to Kralik it went. Cubsy sends it in, but Lalo gonna save that very easily. Nova trying to pop it up for a teammate, and Cubsy going for the touch, not quite able to connect with the ball. Nova trying to play out his man, outplay his man. Lalo on the ball now. Nobody on the back line for Maynooth. Danger there, but stop came in just in the nick of time. It seems like both these teams are going for goals, but nothing is being converted just yet. Lalo tries to flick it over to a teammate, and Kralik got on the way, getting the bump on Arosi. Nova on the ball now, in a dangerous position, but very low boost and can't make anything happen to it. ball very dangerously, just soaring through the air though, there with nobody to take control of it. Frolic playing it up as far as Nova. Nova, not enough boost to connect with that ball. Erosi passing it to Lalo, but Frolic getting in the way of it, sending it back to UCD's corner once again. Luca picking up that ball, trying to play it back past Cubsy. Cubsy getting a touch to it, back to Lalo on the back wall, who passes it to Luca, but Frolic getting the interception. Potential here for a goal for Maynooth, but Lalo gonna get the clearance as far as Cubsy. Dangerous there. Luca getting the clearance, but getting demoed in the process. Nova, very dangerous. Kralik gonna send in the shot and just slipping it onto the crossbar for the 2-1 overtime goal there.
Yeah, another 3 shots added to Maynooth's tally, and they convert on the third. 12 shots total for UCD Leviathans there, and unfortunately only 1 goal gone from that chance. Good game 1 here for the teams. Definitely felt each other out by this point, but nevertheless here, just trying to think about what we can do now for UCD for the next game. I think they arguably should have won it with the amount of shots that they had. Just the conversion rate just wasn't there. But Maynooth, they were just on top of UCD and just managed to try and sneak one through. But nevertheless, we're just moving on now to game number 2. Back to kickoff, and Nova now trying to start this one off early. Hits that one high into the sky, dropping down now in the UCD Leviathan side. Rossi gets a little flick over and over to the 360 just to try and gather themselves just up now into the sky. Cubsby now meets that one, has enough boost to push it through. That's 50 for Nova. Can he get it through in the end? Kralik has gone for the bump. It might be a goal. Lalo though getting a save on the line. Now Maynooth are on the back foot. Can Lalo get it through? Yes, he can. Maynooth pushed up to try and get that goal. But UCD clap right back and get the first goal here of this game number 2.
Yeah, Kralik not, once again, it always seems to be Kralik whenever I say not able to get the touch to keep that from going out. Lalo, beautiful goal there, opening up the scoreline, 1-0 to UCD now. A double commit there from Maynooth on that kickoff. Kralik taking it all the way down to UCD's side of the pitch. But Luca getting in touch and bouncing that back out. Cubsy, a good 50 from Erosi there. Lalo bringing it to the sidewall, trying to go for a sidewall read. Not enough power to get it where he wanted it, but play keeps on going. UCD trying to pound down that pressure, trying to make sure they open the scoreline up a little bit. A good shot from Luca once again, but off the crossbar and out it came. Kralik getting the clearance he needs in the time at the time being. Kralik gets a second touch to it, but Lalo not going to be too phased by that. Sends it up high for Erosi. Erosi's shot comes in, but Nova, beautiful save on the line, stopping that from going in. UCD definitely trying to mount the pressure, get a second goal for themselves, and open up that scoreline just that little bit much. They know how dangerous Maynooth can be. They've seen it happen. They've seen that lead diminish pretty quickly. Now Nova trying to get something to work, but Erosi going to knock that clear into the corner. Nova picking up the boost from under his opponent's nose. Luca picking up that boost. Back to Cubsy it goes, and the shot came in, and I'm not quite sure what happened there. Erosi managed to get a save, and it seemed to just bounce back into Cubsy's car. Yeah, not the save that Erosi wanted. Managed to just redirect it back into Cubsy. Cubsy in that danger area and stealing a goal for Maynooth. Even Stevens once again with 3 minutes left on the clock. I think.
Yeah. Oh, my apologies. I was getting a sip of water. Nevertheless, back here to the game. Once again, Luca has scored here. UCD capitalizing on another opportunity. I was just talking there to myself, apparently, just about that goal. Cubsy just there at the right time. Unfortunate save for Erosi. Just trying to get something in, but tries to get a save, but Cubsy was there for the shot. And now we have Cubsy once again trying to get a shot off. Luca now trying to add another to the UCD tally. Trying to get another shot here, but saved by Kralik. Of course, Maynooth here, 1 game up so far in this series. That one's hitting off the crossbar and down. It's saved on the line. It's back out to Luca. Can he start a play here? No, Cubsby gets it off the line. Luca now looking for a demo. Nova now trying to clear it over to Cubsby. Should be a 2v, maybe a back to a 3v3 opportunity here. 2 minutes here, left on the clock, and UCD have gone goal up, and now they've gone another goal up here as Lalo gets a third for the tally. 3-1 now to UCD.
Yeah, UCD seem to be back into the driver's seat now. They've 2 goals. They're 2 goals up against Maynooth, and fortunate for Maynooth not getting a man back onto that back line in time to stop that beautiful ball soaring through the air from going into the back of their net. Kralik getting a save there, sending it to the corner. Cubsy gonna follow it up off the wall. Gets a nice booming ball there, but back down to Kralik it went. Came in for a shot and under one of the defenders from UCD. Nova on the ball now, pops it up high. Lalo up to meet him, but doesn't quite manage to connect with the ball. A good stop from Luca on the back wall. Cubsy trying to keep that pressure going. Back to Luca it goes, who gets the clearance. Gonna fall down to Kralik, who's gonna try and play it around Erosi. Over Lalo it goes, and 1 man to beat for the time being, but back to the defensive positions it is. And Nova having to chase down that ball. Wasn't expecting the direction it was gonna go. And now Maynooth back on the attack, trying to get those 2 goals they've missed out on. Kralik trying to pass it down to Cubsy, but Luca getting in the way. Nova gets a second touch to that one off the back wall. Down to Kralik it goes. Lalo coming in strong with that challenge, getting possession over to Luca. Luca setting it to the back wall, looking like he was going to go for the double touch, but didn't quite have enough boost. Erosi in with the shot, but Nova stopping that ball in the danger zone. Nova pops it over Lalo. Back to Erosi, who manages to get the save. Very awkward for him, but just managed to get the touch he needed. And Lalo, what a stop on the line. The ball was pretty much in the net, managing to keep it out for the time being, keep that lead going. Nova getting demoed while picking up that ball. Cubsy on the ball now. He's dangerous in these positions, but not quite able to get it past Luca. Erosi and Luca both going up the wall for that ball. Cubsy gonna catch that and try and play the 50 past Lalo. Nova going for a pinch out of the corner. Back down to Kralik it goes, and the countdown is on. It's looking like UCD are going to be taking this game 2 for themselves.
Yeah, it seems to be going here to UCD in game number 2. Game 1, of course, went towards Maynooth, so level series here once again. I just have to double check my mic was on at that time. I have a fear now, but nevertheless, Maynooth now trailing in that game. Answered back UCD every time something was happening, but they managed to extend their lead to 2 goals and 10 shots across the board by them, but still plenty of shots from Maynooth as well. Only 1 from 10 for them, so not the most conversion, not a great conversion rate from them, similar to UCD in that game number 1, but 3 from 10 for UCD. 2 goals to Lalo and 1 goal to Luca. The only goal, of course, coming from Cubsy for Maynooth after that attempted save by Erosi. Moving on now to game number 3. We're back to a level series, Gibbs, so still all to play for.
Yeah, it's still anyone's game. I have a strange feeling that Maynooth, after being, having I feel like the word dismal is quite aggressive in this situation, but not having
maybe a bit harsh, Gibb.
Not having the best of games against TUD.
That's fair.
They came out swinging in that game too, and they're probably wanting to get a quick win over. Underperformed. That is a much better term for it.
Much better than dismal. We apologize for that comment.
But yeah, they were definitely wanting to get this game, this series underway under their belts in the first week of the Prem Division. And Kralik goes in for the shot off the post. It came, and Lalo keeping it out for the time being. And that was very close to being an opening goal for Maynooth. But yeah, UCD proving quite the tricky challenger for Maynooth now.
Yeah, Cubsy now trying to take one off the wall, and I'm not sure how that didn't go in for Maynooth. Saved on the line and bounced off, and Luca now says goodbye to Kralik as Lalo now tries to start a play. Easy stop for Nova. Will get 100 boost from that. Now he's trying to pass into the middle. Kralik is there. Can he get a touch? Can he send it over to that right side? Can Nova get a push through? It's up to Cubsy now with the card change. Don't like this one as much as the previous one, but Kralik slots it in, and Maynooth now take the first goal here in the series. Cubsy gets it off the back wall. No one can answer it. Lalo flips out of the net and just leaves it for Kralik. Maynooth now 1-0 up here in this game number 3.
Yeah, 1-0 to Maynooth. They are now leading this game 3. Will UCD have a response to them? 3 goals in the last game. We know they can do it. We know that they can break down Maynooth's defenses, but Kralik gonna get the clearance as far as Nova. Nova trying to redirect that, but into the corner it went to Lalo. Cubsy, apologies, passing that out to a double commit from Kralik and Nova. Rossi gonna take full advantage of that, trying to let it drop down for a teammate. Lalo trying to pass it out to Rossi, but defense from Maynooth coming into play. Once again, Nova very low boost. Cubsy trying to intercept that 50, and Lalo on the ball, trying to play it over Kralik. Kralik getting a touch to it, back to Cubsy it goes, popping it up high for a teammate. Nova getting a touch to it, but Lalo and Luca waiting for that ball patiently to drop down to them. Cubsy getting a touch, bringing it into the corner. Once again, they're trying to open up their lead that little bit more. Shot comes in from Nova, and in it goes. Lalo not quite able to react to that in time. Or Luca, apologies, not quite able to react to that in time and get the touch on it.
He's been kind of quiet so far this series, and I think it was quiet as well in the previous series, Nova, but he's come out here to finally get a goal on the board and increase Maynooth's lead here to 2 goals in this game number 3. 1-1, of course, in series, as you are well aware at this point. Kralik now looking to pass that one into the middle. It's back into the center for Maynooth. It's a different game for them this time around. 7 shots, my apologies, for them. UCD only 1 shot on the board, and Luca now hits that one high up into the air. Lalo tries to snipe it into the left corner. Much more offensively dominated game here as Nova goes looking, gets finally a demo on Luca. He was searching for that one. It's a pass to Kralik. It's off the crossbar. Nova tries to get a touch, but now they have to rotate back and make sure that they haven't overcommitted. Cosby gets a touch off that side wall. Nova is there to meet him. Lalo up into the air. Kralik gets his touch. Lalo trying to get a touch, but it's over now to Cubsy, trying to just keep this ball, keep this pressure up. 8 shots for them now as Nova tries to push one through. Can't get it done. Kralik is still there, tries to get a pinch off the corner. That could have gone any way, but doesn't get much pressure off it. Cubsy now cutting that one off. It's left for Nova, who's going to take this one slow. Doesn't have a lot of boost. Does make it through the player, though. It's up to Cubsy and Kralik now. Can they get it through here? They can't. It's going back over to the Maynooth side, and a minute and 17 seconds here left on the clock. Give still only 1 shot to UCD's name. They really need to pull out some of that charm that they had in that previous game they won.
Yeah, it feels to me that Maynooth are just hunting down those shots. They're controlling the ball a little bit more in that midfield position, getting that possession, and then going on the counter-offensive, not letting UCD get many chances to take shots in the first place, and it's working out for them. 3-0 now to Maynooth with 1 minute and 5 seconds left on the clock. UCD gonna have to be pulling out all the stops to get some goals on Maynooth's defense. Cubsy tries to go for a touch there, doesn't quite connect with the ball. Left to Kralik to stop that. Gets a nice touch off the sidewall there. Back to UCD's corner. Rossi back to Nova now. Passing it back to a teammate who wasn't quite in a position to read that pass. Lalo on the ball now. Trying to get it past one. Manages to get it as far as Kralik. Rossi trying to make life difficult to get the clearance from Nova. Nova chasing down that ball. Manages to get a touch to it. Tries to play past one. Gets it past two. And Rossi once again in that prime position to stop the ball. Lalo trying to play it into Maynooth's corner. Luca trying to get a touch past Kralik, but Kralik just being that immovable object as always. Nova trying to get a play going here. Gets the pass out into the box and nobody there to read it. And Lalo going to send that soaring towards Maynooth's net, and just off the post it came. It could have been a goal for them, but nothing comes of it. Erosi trying to get that pressure going again, but as the clock is counting down, it's looking like Maynooth are going to take this game 3 for themselves. And there it is, 2-1 in this series so far. Maynooth, 1 game to go to take it home, and UCD a very much uphill battle for them.
Yeah, it was a strong game too from UCD. They managed to pull back after arguably, possibly should have won that first game with the amount of shots they had. Just not a very great conversion rate. Then it was the same story in game number 2. UCD won, but Maynooth just didn't have the conversion rate on the sheer amount of shots they had. This time around, though, UCD with only 4 shots, and those 4 came from Lalo. Different story ahead, different story for Maynooth, though. Managed to push 12 shots across the board and a sheer amount of goals just to touch them one little bit closer to that victory again, to get the first victory for themselves of this premier series. Everyone here into their respective teams, and we're back here to kick off, Gib.
Yeah, another kickoff. It's all or nothing for UCD now. A good attempt on goal from Erosi there. Lalo trying to follow it up. Luca gets a touch to it, drops it down in front of the net, and Lalo going to convert that into a goal. There's that conversion rate we've been talking about all evening. Managing to get a shot in, managing to get it past Kralik once again, and in it goes for a very early lead in this game for UCD. Can they keep this momentum going and take it to a game 5? That is all up in the air at the moment. Kralik trying to get something going, but Erosi going to catch that ball and send it back down towards Maynooth. Cubsy trying to get a touch to it, not quite able to connect with the ball. Nova getting the touch, but not the clearance he wanted, and having to get his teammates to get it for him.
Just trying to, Maynooth just have to try and get something on the board at this point. It's just still early on in the game, but UCD are coming out strong here in this game number 2. And as I mentioned, previous conversion rates from previous games, it seems to be when a team gets a high amount of shots that sometimes it just doesn't go their favor and they can't get it through. But no one knows Nova now has indeed answered back and has gotten a goal on the board. Let's watch that one more time. Nova now getting that flick just over, and just Erosi caught off guard by that demo, and Maynooth now add their tally back to their added 1 goal to their tally, and they are now trying to edge themselves closer to winning the series.
Yeah, Erosi on the ball. Cubsy getting in the way of that. Luca now trying to play it out for a teammate. Tries to play it out towards Lalo, but Kralik getting in the way of that, getting a touch to it. Nova passing it down to Cubsy. Cubsy in a dangerous position. Gets it past 1. Can he get it past the second? Not quite. Kralik sending that high on that 50. A good one from him. Lalo sends the ball high. Erosi's going up to meet it, but Kralik getting in the way of that, getting a nice touch to it, trying to pass it down to Nova. Nova getting a catch on it, but just passing it a little bit further past the net than he wanted. Kralik sends it to Nova. Nova goes in for the shot, but Luca once again on that back line, getting a stop to it. Lalo sending it back into the corner. Erosi picking up possession now, sending it towards Maynooth's side of the pitch. Nova playing it out of the corner. Very dangerous there. And oh no, Cubsy just not able to connect with that ball. Off the demo it came, and yeah, Lalo getting a touch to it before Nova could get the demo. In it went, bottom corner, and 2 defenders from Maynooth not quite expecting that shot to come in.
Yeah, no one could get to that ball, unfortunately. Cubsy couldn't and Kralik couldn't. So UCD now increase their lead here by 1 goal. 2-1 here on the score, and of course 2-1 in terms of series. 2 Maynooth. UCD here need 2 games to win this series. 1 game to bring it to a game 5. Nova now tries to keep this one in the air. Luca is up off the ceiling. It's back for Kralik. Can he get back in time? Yes, he can. It was looking like he wasn't going to get back there for a second, but he does get back in great fashion. Cubsy now, 100 boost to his name, trying to start a play. Kralik, though, trying to pinch it there in the middle of the field. Can't do much with it. Nova now trying to take this one up the right side of the field. It's back, and a shot for Lalo. Oh, it's hit by the Maynooth player, and it's hit into the top right corner for Luca. And UCD now capitalise on that opportunity. I think it was Nova. Oh, he gets bumped and just pops it almost into his own net. And Luca is there for the follow-up. 3-1 now to UCD.
Yeah, whatever UCD's doing, it's working for them, and they should keep that going. They seem to have changed things up a little bit in their approach, and now 3-1 to them. Cozy trying to come in strong with that challenge, and Erosi managing to get a touch to the ball in the time, but Nova coming off the redirect, getting a second shot in there. Yeah, Karalik in with a shot, Erosi getting the save, and once again, Erosi just not quite getting that clearance he wants, and unfortunate for him. Still in the lead now for UCD, 3-2 to them, but Maynooth trying to gather a little bit more ground now. Lalo sends it high, sends it over as far as Kralik. Kralik getting a touch back to Nova. Nova sending it back to Kralik. Kralik trying to play it back into the midfield. Cubsy stopping the danger for the time being. Kralik passing it to Nova in a dangerous position, but not punished for it. Luca getting a touch to it. Catches the ball, flicks it over Kralik. Cubsy needs to get a touch here. He manages to get it, gets the clearance as well. Lalo trying to play the 50, and back to Nova it goes. Ooh, off the crossbar, and it's not out of danger yet. Nobody quite able to get the touch to it, and in it goes for Maynooth to tie this game up.
Yeah, Nova there almost, I think, I was about to say if Kralik hadn't got to it, Nova was reversing quite eloquently just to try and get back off that touch. Great shot by him, just hits the crossbar, and luckily they're there for the follow-up. 2 back-to-back goals here for Maynooth, and they level the game here with 1 minute and 35 seconds left on the clock. What can UCD do about this? Erosi now gets demo on the field. Luca gets a demo on the field. Kralik looking for a demo. Everyone out for blood here. One team wants to win it in game 4, and another team wants to send it to game 5 to keep their chance alive and leave it to faith. And now we have Erosi on the back wall. Lelo now trying to keep it up. It goes back towards the middle of the field. Kralik can't make contact with it. It's left to Luca. Cubsy gets a demo. Should be here for no one knows Nova. Can he hit it back into the middle? He can pinch it through. Is anyone there? No one is there from Maynooth. It was set up perfectly for them. No one was there for the follow-up. Lalo now is just demoing and bumping everyone that they can see. They are not affording anyone a chance to be on this field. Luca hits it over to Lalo. It's hit up into the sky now. 2 players bowed up for it. Need to make sure the comms stay well and in tune. Going over now to the right hand side. Lalo trying to start this play here. Cubsy can't make contact with it. Flicked here by Kralik. Cubsy looking for a bump. Nova trying to come and capitalize on the opportunity. Luca gets a demo. It's back to Kralik, and Maynooth now are absolutely all over UCD. They're looking to end this one and not even send it to game 5 for UCD. They're looking to end it in 4. Nova now hits that one up into the sky. Cogsby trying to get one through. Kralik tries to hit that one to the middle, can't get it through. Nova very high pushed up. Luca now trying to get a flick off. Can he get it through? Nova does though get a block, and we're going to overtime. One team will go home and one team will get the win.
Yeah, potential here for UCD to keep themselves in this, bring it to a game 5, but Maynooth looking very strong. They were definitely trying to just push something through there and make sure it didn't get to an overtime. UCD's defense managed to keep everything out for the time being, but I'd say Maynooth are hungry for more goals now. Cubsy trying to get a touch to it. Kralik getting the pinch at that wall. Nova passing it into a dangerous position, but Kralik once again on that back line getting a touch to it, stopping it from going to game 5 just at this moment in time. Kralik picking up that ball. Lalo on low boost, tries to challenge it, gets a touch to it. Cubsy managing to keep it out for the time being. A double commit from Maynooth, and in it goes UCD. It's going to game 5.
Yeah, Cosby there gets a clear, and I think, he just lands on Nova. He just can't get the save. It's a goal for UCD. We're going to game number 5 here in this second game of the night. Such a close game here in this game number 4. 12 shots for UCD and 9 for Maynooth. High conversion rate, good conversion rate there for UCD, as we've seen earlier. Yeah, great piece of play there, and Luca and Lalo with 2 goals apiece, and Erosi starting off, unfortunately, with no goals for his team. But Maynooth now, we thought the momentum was definitely going in their favour. It didn't look like they had enough shots. Honestly, I thought they would have had more shots based on the sheer amount of offensive pressure they had. But nevertheless, here we're going to game 5, and this is a lot here for these teams. Some may get their first win here in the Premier Series. Nevertheless, let's see how it goes. Take it away, Gib.
Yeah, a good kickoff from Nova. Gonna pass it back to himself and just gonna bounce in for a 4-second goal. Unfortunate. I think that was Luca who just couldn't quite get the bump on Nova, couldn't quite get the touch on the ball. Gonna bounce in for a very quick 1-0 lead to Maynooth in this game 5, in this best of 5. 2-2 series score. Oh, it's all ramping up. It's anyone's game now. And UCD are going to be hungry for that win, as will Maynooth. Kralik getting a touch to it, sending it to the corner now, trying to pinch it out towards a teammate. Cubsy getting a touch, but not quite on target. Luca trying to clear the danger. Lalo managing to get a touch off Nova's shot. Kralik bringing it all the way back, going to pick up that boost for himself as well. Plays it round Arosi. Lalo getting a bump on Kralik. Maybe not the shot he wanted, but definitely the bump he needed. Nova on the ball now, trying to bring it out to the mid, and Arosi picking up that mid boost. Very nicely done. Back to Lalo now. Plays it up high for Luca. Luca getting the bump on Kralik. Nova getting a touch on the ball, sending it into the corner. Arosi trying to pinch it out of the danger zone, but it's going to drop down in front of their net. And, I'm not quite sure. Luca managed to get a touch to it, but it wasn't enough to keep it out. And a goal for Cubsy it's going to be.
Yeah, just tries to get it through, but just, I think it's a pinch there on the line, and Cubsy gets it in. I think Lalo got the pinch there with Cubsy, and nevertheless, Maynooth now had 2 goals to their tally here early on. Only a minute and 6 seconds has gone. Moving back to the passage of play here. Kralik trying to keep that one going. Hits it over to Lalo. Nova is still there, just trying to keep the ball out of their half. Nova getting as many bumps as he can and just trying to just keep this play going, and not much has happened so far for UCD in this series. Luca finally can't get through, but Nova adds another to his tally as things are going the way of Maynooth. 3 shots for Nova, gets 2 goals in, and things are looking good for Maynooth.
Yeah, Luca went up for that ball, couldn't quite read the pathing as much as he wanted to, and in it went over his head. Oh, a good kickoff for Nova, and gonna open up the scoreline to a 4-0 lead. No response from UCD just yet, but still plenty of time to do so. Good kickoff from Nova, and it's gonna be a kickoff goal, which I don't think we've seen many of today.
Not tonight, no.
4-0 to Maynooth now. And Kralik going to bring it into the corner, picking up that full boost, but Luca going to play it back into the midfield. Cubsy trying to get a touch to it. Nova trying to get a touch to it. Back to Lalo it goes, passed in to the box, but nobody there to read that pass. Nova on the ceiling now. Gets to use his reset. Drops it down to Kralik, but UCD player getting in the way. Lalo up to meet that ball. Gets the clearance back as far as Cubsy can. Cubsy get the touch he wants. He got a touch, but maybe not the one he wanted, and dropped down to Luca it goes. UCD have decided to get back into this game for themselves. 4-1 to Maynooth now, and it is just a matter of time. We've seen goal differences be just reduced so quickly between these two teams. Can it be done here in this game 5? That is all. Well, we've got 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to decide that.
Yeah, still half the game here left for UCD to claw themselves back and potentially get the win here in this series. Kralik now in that one into the middle. It's from Lalo to Luca, and Nova gets a good touch. And it's another shot here from Erosi, just trying to get something through, but can't get anything through at the moment. 4 shots for UCD, and they have one so far make it across the line, but Nova now trying to get it out of his half. It's Lalo passing it back to Erosi, back to Luca. Can he push this one through? No, he can't, but Lalo, can he get this one through? He can't get that one through either. Erosi now trying to just get a touch, and Luca just hitting that ball over to the other side and just trying to get something going. Oh, it's a miss though from Lalo. It's up for Luca, who misses the ball. Still going here in this Maynooth side. Cubsy now is going to try to get the touch through. Can get the flick around. It's up to him now. Can he get it through? Can he go around the UCD players? No, he can't. Kralik is waiting. It's over to the right hand side. 100 boost for Orosi. Nova high into the sky. We'll get a touch and try and drop that one down. Luca now though. Oh, might be able to get this one through. Can he get it around Nova? No, he can't. A minute and 20 seconds left here, Gabe, and UCD need to throw the kitchen sink at this one if they're gonna claw this one back.
Yeah, they're trying to get something going, and every time they do, it just seems that the Maynooth players are able to get that stop on the line. A good shot coming out from Luca, and Nova going to clear that danger out to Kralik. Off the sidewall he comes, trying to get the play going. Potential, but Luca getting a touch. Orosi sending the shot wide. As far as Cubsy managed to get a touch on that one. Lalo goes in for the shot, but Kralik getting a body in the way. Luca following that ball up, but Cubsy getting a body in the way, and Kralik going to clear it out to the midfield. Lalo getting bumped off the play of the ball by Nova. Back to Orosi now, who's going to send it up high, and Nova just being a pain in their side, but nonetheless, Luca going to convert one of those shots into a goal. 2 goals to them now, 4 goals to Maynooth. With 30 seconds left on the clock, all we need is 2 really good kickoffs from UCD, and they could be in with a chance to take this to at least an overtime. But once again, another kickoff, 30 seconds left. Ball still in the mid. Orosi not quite getting the touch, and Cubsy going to play it out around him, going for something a little bit fancy. Tried to get the reset on that one, but nothing came of it. Body in the way from UCD. Off the post it came, and Cubsy, while he was searching for that goal, and he got it in the end.
Yeah, another 2 goals here for Cubsy. Strong performance by him, but standout performance, of course, goes to Hachihiro Nova. 867 points, 4 saves across 5 shots. He's been crucial. I said he was quiet earlier. He was definitely not quiet in this game. Number 5. 10 seconds left here on the clock. A 3-goal advantage here for Maynooth, and they expand that to 4 goals. The way it's going, unless we see a miracle happen, Maynooth here will be taking their first win of the Premier Series. No one knows Nova now, getting close to that 1,000 point mark here. No one is even close to him in this lobby, just showing why he should be winning this game. 2 seconds left here on the clock, and it is a victory here for the Maynooth Martyrs, getting a goal, 1 more goal into the net. They have an own goal, but nevertheless, Maynooth win it here in Game 5.
Yeah, Maynooth, they're going to be happy coming off the back of that TUD game to manage to get themselves the win against UCD. A pleasant performance from them.
Yeah, strong performance. It's very much back and forward, I think, as the series went on, but a strong performance from Maynooth to pull it back. UCD kind of, at certain times the shots weren't working, and then the shots weren't working for Maynooth, but well done to both teams for bringing it to that Game 5, especially UCD, as they did win that Game 4. Game 4 could have gone the way of Maynooth and ended the series, but nevertheless, UCD bow out and Maynooth take the win here in this game number 5 of our second game of the night. It is Tuesday, which means Rocket League is now over. Gib, before we go, give us a word from our title sponsors.
I would love to take a moment of your time to thank the wonderful people that make what we do here at Ireland Esports Collegiate Series a possibility. So a big thank you to PlayAid, GG Machines, Dogpatch Labs, and of course Red Bull, who I've been sipping on throughout this evening to keep me going. This will be all of it for this evening, but of course there are other games throughout the week, so be sure to check them out if you are interested in those. And we will be back next week for more Rocket League, same time on a Tuesday evening. That'll be it for us, and we'll see you next week.